Talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Beautifully said, Patricia. Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, October 27th. I'm here with my brother, Jeff. I'm Tori.
Not blood, but from another mother.
From another mother.
I thought you were going to follow that up.
Yeah, I didn't know, I just stopped there. It was awkward. I appreciate that. Lindsay, help us out. You're joining us from home. We'll look at it. Fantastic. How you feeling this morning?
It's your sister from another mister joining you from home.
At least you finished the saying.
That was great. Well said. All right, well, let's get straight into it. A little more than a month after Ruth Bader Ginsburg's death, we do have a new Supreme Court justice to fill her seat. Amy Coney Barrett was sworn in at the White House last night. The president was there too and praised Barrett's towering intellect and impeccable credentials. Get this, she is the first justice confirmed without support from both parties since 1869. Democrats were clearly not pleased, and here is what one senator did from Hawaii during her confirmation vote last night.
Ms. Sinema, Ms. Smith, Ms. Stabenow.
I'm going to say hell no.
Ooh, hell no. There were demonstrations last night outside the Supreme Court, including a group that dressed in red clothes. Could rule on a case concerning the president's taxes, as well as an effort to shorten the deadline for counting absentee ballots in North Carolina and Pennsylvania. Lindsay, what do you think of her confirmation and these votes that she could rule on?
I mean, she's definitely qualified and has a lot of experience, so I don't want to take away from a woman that has achieved as much as she has. She said she's not going to let her personal beliefs outweigh any of her decisions. She's going to go specifically by law, and I hope she stands by that. But I think many Americans are more infuriated that, you know, we've been in coronavirus and essential lockdown for the last 8 months and have one stimulus package that's been passed for the American people. And Ruth Bader Ginsburg died 2 months ago, and we already confirmed a new justice. And so I think our priorities are a little messed up when there are many Americans that are struggling, and not that we didn't need a Supreme Court justice, it's just the timing was not imminent in comparison to how many people need relief in coronavirus.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell also just released the Senate, so there won't be any more coming stimulus packages. I'm going to just read you this dissent in honor of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She was the queen of dissent. This is Justice Kagan, who says Justice Kavanaugh alleges that suspicions of impropriety will result if absentee ballots flow in after Election Day and flip the election. But there are no results to flip until all valid votes are counted. She says this is to deserve the electoral process. Very strong words. Jeff, what do you think about rushing this in and then having her actually vote on things that are going to be mandated?
Well, the thing I want to focus on now is the election, because it's around the corner, right?
7, 6, 7.
And if we go back to 2000 when this happened in Florida, it went all the way to the Supreme Court.
Correct.
So they had a vote on this, and they voted in George W. Bush 5-4. It was a majority rule for the Republicans. So now it's 6-3. So this is why it's very important now, because I don't think we're going to have a president in a week. I don't think we're having a president in a month. It took all the way to December to have that 2000 election figured out, right?
Yeah,
I think this is going to be way past December. I think we're going to be into the new year because of all the suing. There's already 200 filed lawsuits against the government because of what's going on. So there's no way this is going to be settled, but I think she's going to play a big part in this.
I think so too. If you don't know Justice Roberts, who's the Chief Justice, he was always the swing vote. It was 5-4, 5-4. Now that she's on, it's a 6-3. So Republicans, this is a huge victory for them, for the pro-life. You're going to see, I think, lawsuits, in my opinion, like Roe v. Wade get chipped away. I think the Affordable Care Act is going to get chipped away, and same-sex marriage laws and court cases might get chipped away. That's a big win. If you wanted President Trump to say, I'm going to help with the court, he did. He landed on that promise very well, if you're on his side.
But I don't mean to harp on this, but if Biden gets in, he's going to pack that court and even the numbers out.
We don't know what's going to happen,
that.
but we do know it's legal and constitutional and has been done before. All right, speaking of the Supreme Court, they ruled yesterday against a request by Wisconsin Dems to extend the deadline for mail-in ballots. And with the election just 1 week from today, there's a lot of worry about violence, both on Election Day and after. So cities across the country are trying to figure out what sort of police presence is needed at polls on Election Day. Some say it may actually intimidate voters, while others hope it will calm fears about possible armed militia groups showing up as poll watchers. Meantime, cities are preparing for post-election unrest like Jeff was talking about, including protesting, looting, violence. In my own hometown in D.C., they are boarding up windows. And in Texas, the governor is expected to announce later this week they're sending 1,000 troops to 5 major cities to try to keep the peace. Even the Department of Homeland Security is prepping for large-scale protests. My family member's friend is leaving D.C., taking her jewelry and getting out. Like, no joke. And she is a very well-educated person. She's concerned. I think that's over the top. But, Lindsay, what do you think about all this violence that might happen? Do you think it's overblown, or will it happen?
I hope it's overblown. I mean, even just listening to you read out all the different things that are happening and all the procedures that are in place to protect people, it just sounds crazy that we're here. I know we're in the middle of a very tense election, but it's almost depressing to think that as America, we are in a place where we need armed militia while people are voting, and we need to protect people in that way. It almost seems so extreme that it's unbelievable.
Let me pose a question to both you guys. Let's say Biden wins by a landslide. Do you think there will be protesting? And on the flip side, if Trump wins, supposedly in 1 week, do you think there will be protesting? Yes or no to each question.
I think if Biden wins,
I think that there would be.
Lindsay, please, you go first, please.
I think there could be protesting on either side or people reacting, but as far as like needing an entire militia outside to protect people, I think that that's extreme. I mean, the election has to go one way or the other, and we've been preparing for this, literally sitting inside, staring at screens, trying to figure out what's going on for the last almost full year. And so one way or the other, we're going to get a victory. And so people are going to have to accept whatever that outcome is.
But what's a worst case scenario as far as protesting goes? Not as a president. What's a worst case scenario goes as far as protesting? Trump winning or Biden winning?
In my opinion?
Yes.
Trump. I think if Biden wins by a landslide, it's hard to go to the Supreme Court with that. If it's a 10-point lead, it's very difficult. If Trump wins, I could see a lot of people clashing, and that is scary.
But why? That seems... I don't know the
but
right
I don't
word
think that
for
Trump's base is just going to. I don't think Trump's base is just going to sit back and say, okay, you know, yeah, we lost. I think there will also be people rallied up and standing out on the streets. I mean, people who are essentially in Trump's base protested down to the Capitol to say they didn't want to wear masks.
That's 38%
and so,
of the country.
They're not going to be quiet.
If that's 38% of the country, that's Trump's base, and they have a 10-point, let's say he wins in a 10-point landslide, Joe Biden, they don't have any way to, they don't have anything to stand on. Not say they won't do anything, but 38% of the country isn't going to erupt in enormous riots. There might be fringe problems, but I think it's not going to be half the country against each other.
I think that's honest. I think that's exactly what will happen.
But if President Trump wins with a 10-point slide as well, I don't think that people who support Biden are taken to the streets if he wins by that much of a majority.
I don't think he will, but if the courts rule that Trump wins this election,
riots.
There's going to be riots on the streets.
I agree with you. I think there might be too as well. Let us know what you guys think. We're just...
Allegedly. Do I have to put that in there?
No.
Okay,
that
sorry.
Doesn't go there at all.
I don't know. I'm just trying to protect myself.
You're doing great. All right, we do have a scary story to update to you. You might have heard about this. Murder hornets. Remember this? They're back. A murder hornet nest was found in Washington state, and now authorities are saying they did not find the queen. Dun, dun, dun. Agricultural officials wore these very serious protective suits. Dude.
It was E.T.?
While trying to eradicate the nest, they wrapped the tree in saran wrap. I'm sure it was like stronger than that.
Finish it. I got some fun.
And vacuumed out the giant insects. Just so you know, they're keeping them alive. You can see the vacuum tube, oh my God, full of about 100 murder hornets. But of course, the one that's missing is that queen murder hornet who apparently got away. They nicknamed her Beyonce. I'm kidding. So just how bad are these murder hornets? Check out a video of this guy getting stung by one.
I've got it. Perfect hold. That's what we want.
How bad is it?
Oh man, wave of dizziness really quick. Ah! Oh, searing pain! Absolute searing pain! There's where the stinger went in right there. Did you see how slow the sting was? Oh!
What's happening? Okay, what do you think of that, Jeff?
Well, interesting enough, Steve, our sound guy, was talking to us. They attached some kind of device to a couple hornets.
Yeah, like their
hornets.
legs or something?
Yeah, and then they followed their like a radio device or some sort. That's how they found the nest, which I found was very interesting. But you want to go back to that picture of how technical those outfits were?
Yes, go back to these protective white suits.
If you can. So look how in-depth these are, right? They wrapped the tree with saran wrap. They used chopsticks to hold it, and then they put them in a McDonald's cup. And I was like, look at how sophisticated that stuff is, and they use a McDonald's cup to trap the murder hornet.
Free coffee. Lindsay, are you as terrified as these as we are? I know you're not an animal person. Or like a major
I'm not an insect person or anything, but I don't understand who does this. Like, not the people trying to protect us, like the man who just decided to get stung.
Yeah,
like, who actually does that?
Hey.
That is ridiculous. Like, you know how I got when there was a spider inside the office, Tori? I don't like bugs. Like, this is just gross.
I don't like the searing pain, the dizziness, the closeness to the cliff.
How bad is it?
I like it.
Man, wave of
Why?
dizziness
Because then
really
you
quick.
find out what it's really like. Like if he gets bit by a regular average snake, then if you get bit by that and you saw it, you're like, you know what? It's not so bad. You're not going to die. Remember that crazy guy who got stung and bit by everything? He's all right.
That guy. We love that guy. All right. Lindsay, stick around. Coming up on DBL, comedian Sarah Silverman takes on cancel culture. Why she says it's not the right answer. I cannot wait to hear Jeff's take on this. We'll be right back. Along with the most honest and entertaining talk in daytime, DBL is telling stories that matter.
In a way, you're kind of admitting that you are not proud or happy with yourself.
From a woman who began bleaching her skin as a teenager to a model who made the choice to amputate both of her legs.
We are so proud of you.
Tiger King's Carol Baskin answers the questions everyone wants to know.
Oh my God. Well, you know, there was like a hitman that was hired to kill me.
And nothing's off limits with Nancy Grace.
What had happened so far in the Ahmaud Arbery case? Nothing!
In DBL's True Crime Chronicles, the origin story of the Amber Alert. And in Freedom Files, Wrongfully Convicted, a woman spends 17 years in prison for killing her son, but she didn't do it.
You don't get to wake up from it and realize that it was just a dream.
Also, a world-renowned psychic gives us a reading you have to see to believe. And our favorite mentalist, Wayne Hoffman, absolutely blows our minds.
What is it? Okay, I'm gonna need some purity water over me.
With all of that, and the election, the pandemic,
That is insane to me.
we have a lot to talk about. So join our conversation every day this November on DBL. Ooh, we look good. Welcome back to DBL. Sarah Silverman thinks cancel culture has gone too far. We've had so many conversations on the show about it. The comedian says she lost a film role last year after footage of her in blackface from her show in 2007 resurfaced. On the latest episode of her podcast, Sarah points her finger at progressives who are so quick to dismiss people for their mistakes. Watch this.
When you take someone, you found a tweet they wrote 7 years ago or a thing that they said, and you expose it and you say, this person should be no more, banish them forever. They're gonna find some place where they are accepted. And it's not gonna be with progressives. If we don't give these people a path to redemption, then they're gonna go where they are accepted, which is the dark side.
Jeff, you've had a long, long history with cancel culture and feeling, no, but about how angry you are. And I tend to slide a little bit into it too much sometimes. So talk to me about what you felt about that.
Well, I agree 100%, and thank you, Sarah Silverman, for saying that, because the pendulum is way too far, and I know we use that example all the time, but she's trying to bring it back a little bit. It's ridiculous, this cancel culture, for things you did 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago. It's ridiculous, right? And what she touched on was something that I felt. I even talked to, well, I won't say who I talked to, but I talked to a lot of people about it. If you're not accepting me on the liberal side, and I'm a liberal guy, and it might come off that I'm a Trump supporter and all these things, I'm a liberal guy, and I stand for what is right, whether it be liberal or Republican, whatever it may be. I just point out the right things, and I hate to just hog this segment. But if the liberals in the left side are going to keep pushing me further from them and pushing me away, she's right. Where are you going to go? You're going to go to where you're accepted, and that's high school. That's the cliques in your job. That's nature, right? Everyone forms these communities, and if you keep pushing me farther away, I'm going to go to where I'm accepted, right? And I think you could see it a little bit, my progression on this show a little bit, and it comes out, and I'm just an honest guy, and I'm telling you how I feel. This cancel culture and these idiots at home who mean nothing are shifting, I know we got to wrap, are shifting, influencing major networks and companies. It's ridiculous. The pendulum's got to come back. Thank you, Sarah Silverman, for saying that, and I apologize for eating up that whole segment.
We'll be right back. It was great.
Lady.
Welcome back to DBL. Today we're shining a spotlight on an amazing woman named Miss Peppermint. She's a trans woman who's breaking down barriers. Check her out. The multi-talented actress, singer, songwriter, activist, and drag queen, Miss Peppermint. Thank you so much for joining us on DBL. For those who are not yet familiar with you, you were the very first trans woman to originate a role on Broadway in Head Over Heels in 2018.
You know the world complex and wide to be temperamentally tranquilized.
Tell me about that experience.
It was amazing. It was a musical that was inspired by the Go-Go's, and I had the opportunity to audition. I went in, I nailed it. I'm really thankful and grateful for the opportunity. Maybe I'll be back on the stage someday.
I was trained classically and went into this. You were trained classically, and people didn't really believe in you. Is that right? Tell me kind of a little bit about that background, how you kind of had to fight for yourself to be a pioneer.
Yeah, you know, all my life I've always been a queer child, but when I went to school and was working on my degree in musical theater performance, which I have, I was confronted by a lot of teachers who would basically tell me, "You are just too queer. You're never gonna work on Broadway, and there's literally no roles written for trans women or people like you." And so,
and look at you now. my God, good for you.
Darling.
Yes,
Don't
please,
even
with
tell
the
me.
fan and everything. I want to get into Drag Race. You were season 9 runner-up.
Spicy red hot chocolatey. I'm minty fresh, but it ain't for free.
What has that experience meant to you? And do you have any sort of funny behind-the-scenes story?
Doing reality TV shows, unlike anything else, you cannot prepare for it. And so when I got there, I was quite surprised to find out that you were not allowed to talk to each other. You don't have a name, you have a number. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
One day, they left me behind and forgot that I wasn't there. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm one of the 13 people on your TV show. And that was a whole big thing. Somebody got fired. I was like terrified. I was like, RuPaul is trying to sabotage my game. Like I had this whole thing going on. But obviously I made it to the end, and it's something that I'm very grateful for.
You have a new album, A Girl Like Me. I want to know about this album and why is it so personal to you?
You don't want nobody seeing me with you.
Songs are all about, my boobies and putting money in them and feeling fun and looking cute and working the runway and look at my shoes. And all those things are very real to me. But while I was having my Broadway experience, I was in a relationship, and it was the best relationship I'd ever had up to the point. It lasted about a year, and then basically decided to put that story to music.
Wow.
The whole theme across the whole project is letters to my lovers.
Wow.
And really good, reads them the riot act.
Oh, yes. I gotta be honest, breakup albums are like my thing. Like, I'm like Taylor Swift crying in the shower. Like, I can't wait to listen to this. This is right up my alley. I do want to get to some of your activism. Even with this pandemic, murders of transgender people in 2020 has already surpassed the total for last year. And that's just in 7 months. We talk about it a lot on the show. Why does this continue to be such a deadly problem for trans people? What is your take on all of this?
I mean, and the short answer is it's just plain discrimination. But I think that people do not understand that the people that are murdering many of these individual stories, it's at the hands of our boyfriends, our lovers, intimate partner violence. And it's not because our partners don't like us at all and want to kill us. It's that our partners would rather kill us than have anyone else know that they are with a trans person. That's the ticket. They do like us a lot, but what they hold at a higher regard is what other men think of them. And I think it's really important that we focus on and destigmatize those types of relationships and really open it up. And when we can break that down, I'm speaking to everyone who's not trans, because the problem with the murder of trans people is not trans people, it's everyone else. And I think that's really important.
I consider myself progressive, I consider myself well-rounded, and I've never seen it from that angle. The shame of that, which is coming from other stereotypes, is what's causing the violence. It's so fascinating and so important that you brought that up. Thank you so much for joining us on DBL and for really giving us a different perspective. That's why representation matters, so we can actually hear from people like you and learn. Everyone go and pick up Miss Peppermint's new album, A Girl Like Me. It is out now. Thanks so much. We'll be right back.
Promotion.
DBL, your comments are coming in like crazy. Faith says this is precisely why Trump is elected in the first place. His legacy will be the Supreme Court. That is very true.
Are you going to call her ACB?
Why? Oh, nice. Amy Coney Barrett. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. I'm real quick. Whoops.